Hello, my lovelies. It's Dr. Sally Graham, the Life Balance Doctor here, and it's been a really long time since I last hopped on live, and I'm sorry for that. But there's been lots going on behind the scenes here, and I just wanted to come and talk to you today about the importance of being yourself, of being your true self, and rather than projecting the image that you think the world wants to see from you, being just you and nobody else. And for a lot of the doctors that I work with and a lot of my clients, it's something they find really, really hard because often from a very young age, they have tried to live up to other people's expectations or what they think are other people's expectations. And the reason why they do that is varied, but it tends very often to come back to wanting to please people, wanting to please their parents, wanting to please their teachers or the people around them, the adults around them that they look up to, that they respect, that they admire. And for so many of them, medicine and becoming a doctor or becoming a lawyer or whatever else it is in their lives that they have achieved has been a way to get approval. Even if it didn't start out that way, it has in many cases turned out to be something which is important to them to get approval from other people for. And the reason why so many doctors, lawyers, and other high achievers struggle with this, I think, comes back to that wanting to please people, wanting to prove yourself, wanting to prove that you can do it, to prove that you can succeed, to prove that you can make it through the training and become whatever it is you set out to do. And that fear of failure that so many of us who have trained as doctors and worked in that world feel or have felt is crushing at times. It can be completely destroying, can destroy your self-confidence, your self-worth, and make you feel as though you're not enough. And it's something that you need to be really, really aware of. And as I say, so many of the doctors I work with, this is something they really, really struggle with. But what I always say is that if your outer success isn't matched by an inner glow of joy, of fulfillment, then the reality is that you're not being yourself, that you're not being true to yourself. You know, along the way, it's very easy to get sidetracked, to feel as though you have to behave in a certain way, present yourself in a certain way, to speak in a certain way, to hang around with certain people, to present this together, I don't know, just this image of yourself in order to be accepted, in order to fit in order to succeed, in order to please your parents, in order to get the jobs that you want. But the reality is, if you're not being yourself at the core of all of that, then it's impossible to be happy, truly, truly happy. You may have the material wealth, you may have the nice car, the nice house, you may have the seemingly perfect relationship to everybody on the outside, you may have beautiful children that you adore, you may have a job that on paper is incredible, you may have, you may travel around the world and do all these wonderful things that, yes, they're great, but if deep down you are not being yourself, if you are hiding parts of yourself, if you feel it's not safe in some way to be you, to express yourself as you, if you feel you're too big or too loud or too quiet or too reserved, really, and then put on a front to the world to dampen that down or hide it, then the reality is you're not really living. You're not living, you're existing. And it's the root cause of most of the unhappiness that I see in my clients. And it was the root cause of my own unhappiness. And this is something that I struggled with for many, many years. And if truth be told, it's something that I still have to actively work on day in, day out, because it's so easy to slip back into 20, 30 plus years of conditioning, of trying to fit into that box, of trying to be liked, of trying to find approval. The truth is that approval, the only approval you really, really need is your own. It's within you. And at some point, if you truly want to be happy, you need to give yourself permission to be happy. You need to give yourself permission to be you. Whatever that looks like, whoever you really are. Because, you know, that person, you, is truly beautiful. And I don't mean on externally, I mean the inside, that glow that you give out to the world, the way you make other people feel. And not everybody's going to be happy about it. No, they probably won't. Not everybody is necessarily going to accept you for who you are. But I made the mistake for many, many years of trying to go through life being liked by everyone. It felt like the worst thing in the world if somebody didn't like me. But as part of that, or because of that, I wasn't being me. And I was miserable. And nobody in this world is liked by everybody. They just aren't. Even the most incredible leaders that most of us would look up to, people that many people would revere, there's always going to be some people who despise them or who just dislike them for no other reason than they don't like their hairstyle or they disagree with their politics or whatever. But it's not your job to make everybody like you. It's your job to be true to yourself. It's your job to like yourself. And you'll only really, truly like yourself when you give yourself permission to be yourself. And when you do that, everything else starts to fall into place. You suddenly realize what it is that you're meant to be doing with your life, what it is, what contribution you're meant to make to this world. And your best contribution, your highest contribution, the most incredible contribution that you can make is being yourself. Because that, when you're in that space, that is when the magic happens, when you allow your true gifts to shine, when you finally allow them out of that box to be you. Because the world needs you and your gifts. But if you're hiding them because you don't think that they're okay or because you think they're too much or too small, then the entire world will miss out on that. And the world doesn't deserve that, quite honestly. So be yourself, be true to yourself, and give yourself permission to be free to be yourself. I can guarantee that when you allow yourself to and get through the initial settling period, because this is hard work, don't get me wrong, it's hard to release that conditioning. But once you get through that initial period, oh, you will just fly and be so much happier. I guarantee it. So, my lovely, take care of yourself. Go and be you, because nobody else can be you, and nobody can be you. You're the only you. So go and be you. Take care, my lovely, and I will speak to you very, very soon. Bye.